The following program is sponsored by the Building Wisconsin Television Network.
Welcome to another project on Building Wisconsin. I'm Stuart Keith, and we're out at the Westlawn Neighborhood Revitalization project here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Let's get started with Director of Development, Lauren Jones, to learn more about the vision for this project. So whether you're building a single home or an entire neighborhood, it all starts with a two-dimensional plan. It's got to be exciting seeing a project like this come to life.
Oh, it's fantastic. To see it go from two-dimensional to three-dimensional with all the colors and different designs, it's great.
Yeah, well, if first impressions mean anything, I was thoroughly impressed with the look and feel of this neighborhood that you're designing. I'd like to start today's show by learning a little bit about the thought process that went in to the Westlawn Neighborhood Revitalization project and what got us to this point.
About 2006, we decided we really need to do something with Westlawn. As the state's largest public housing development, we really want to make sure that the buildings and design integrate with the neighborhood and are a benefit for the city.
So the ultimate goal is to create that strong neighborhood feel to it, make it really a destination for people to want to live here?
Definitely. It's our goal to make it a destination spot and to make sure that the residents as well as the neighbors feel comfortable about coming to Westlawn and using the amenities that are included.
Well, you know, you said you started way back in 2006, but as I understand it, the construction started just a few years ago. It seems to me that it's really moving along quite smoothly.
It is. We really only broke ground in 2010. So the construction at this point is really only about 18 to 20 months in progress.
That's really a testament to the workforce that you have working out here. And throughout today's show, we're going to have a chance to look at some of the businesses that are involved here, some of the people behind the scenes. Is this project unique to the Milwaukee Housing Authority?
In several ways, yes. The size, the sheer magnitude, it's over 37 acres of urban development. That's very unique. But it's really been a culmination of what we've learned after 18 years of development work at other projects that we've done.
Well, if you got a few minutes, I'd love to take a look at some of the finished units.
Great, let's go.
Well, Lauren, again, I said it before, I'll say it again. I like the appearance, especially these townhomes. You mentioned you use different colors. It really helps with the neighborhood feel.
Thank you. We did try to maximize the use of colors and design to make this be a neighborhood, similar to other Milwaukee neighborhoods that have multiple designs, multiple colors, different feels.
Well, one thing for sure, it's not a vinyl village. So there's a lot of thought that went in. I would love to live in an area like this. It gives you that home ownership, that feel that you're trying to accomplish when we talk about neighborhoods. You know, I look on the inside, very comfortable, very aesthetically pleasing. Also has to be affordable. You gave a lot of thought to affordability.
We did. We wanted to make these units affordable for all of the residents. So what we did is we increased the R value in the walls. We have spray foam insulation. It increases the R value to about R30. We have R60 up in the attics. And we have very high efficiency HVAC systems. So when the utilities come into play, it should be very affordable for everybody.
Sure, because you have to look at monthly expenses. You can build the most beautiful, aesthetically pleasing structure, but if it's not affordable for who's ever living there, what good is it? So that's great that you gave thought there. But not only on the inside, with the walls and the insulation there and the high efficiency heating, but also the outside, the neighborhood feel as well?
We did. This will be the first neighborhood in Milwaukee that's utilizing LED lights. They will last approximately 100,000 hours and be very efficient to operate. The other things that we've done in a neighborhood perspective, we've included bioswales to help keep stormwater inrush from the stormwater system.
And that's very important because it wasn't this neighborhood, this was flooded at one point.
It was, and that was one of the reasons why we decided to revitalize Westlawn. We were having so much basement flooding and neighborhood flooding that it really didn't pay to come back and try to remodel what was here. We built new.
And that's a great example of how just through design, you can really impact the environment, impact the neighborhood. Those bioswales, if anybody understands how they work, it's so that the water doesn't just flood right into the sewer system. Again, previous show that we did talked about the overload on the MMSD system. Well, here, you're just keeping that water right on the grounds here.
That's true, and not only does it protect the local area system, because we're so close to Lincoln Creek, it protects the water that goes into Lake Michigan as well.
Sure, and did you carry that back inside to the energy efficient lighting inside as well?
We did. We didn't use all LEDs, but we used high efficiency fluorescents and other types of high efficiency lighting, tried to maximize the amount of light that's in the units.
Sure, well, no matter who moves into these homes, these units, these apartments, I mean, they gotta just love them. I mean, looking around here, they're aesthetically pleasing, they're affordable, and you guys are open for business. There's actually some occupancy taking place now.
Yes, and we have almost full occupancy in our mid-rises, and several of the townhouses are occupied, but we do have single-family sites available, and I encourage people to stop on down, take a look around, and if you're interested, contact the Housing Authority.
Yeah, well, I appreciate learning more what has gone into this project. We're going to find out more throughout today's show. Thank you for coming on.
My pleasure.
As Warren mentioned, if you would like more information about the Westlawn neighborhood, feel free to drop by or contact the Housing Authority. Now let's catch up with Louise Hutchins to learn more about the Emerging Business Enterprise Program. Well, Louise, you must be very proud of what's come out of the ground here.
I am. When I was here a year ago, it was dirt and mud and excavation going on. And I'm looking around me now, and I'm looking at these beautiful modern homes for anybody to want to live in.
Sure, they're coming along beautiful. We had a chance to talk with Warren, and I said how impressed I was, just the look of it. We were in the front part of the neighborhood. Now we're back in an area that's still under construction, and as you look around, there are a lot of jobs that were created here, but more than just construction jobs, there's emerging businesses coming as well.
Correct. The emerging businesses were included in the construction. There were 16 prime contractors, all total, and underneath them there were 33 EBE contractors that participated or still are participating in the building of Westlawn.
Well, let's touch on that EBE program and explain exactly what it is.
Basically, the Housing Authority, like other governmental agencies, has an in-house program dedicated to the participation of emerging business enterprises in all of their business opportunities. The businesses must be certified by a governmental agency, and then it's up to people like myself who manage these programs to get them involved in the opportunities that arise out of the building work that we do.
Okay, so it's up to you. What do you look for in an emerging business as someone you want to bring on board?
I look for initiative, and I look for someone who is willing to educate themselves further to increase the propensity that their business will be in business in the long term. And I look for somebody that has a successful track record.
Sure. So to me, those are all traits of a successful business. So you're looking ultimately for success, someone that you think that you can start out and grow to be a successful business. Not necessarily a huge business, just a successful business.
And you know what? I don't do that by myself. I do that in collaboration with people like the Plumbers Union 75 and Altius Building Contractors and Horizon Construction Group. We come together, or we did on this project, to support emerging businesses that had the initiative to take this learning and expand into the commercial sector.
Okay, so what were some of the businesses you worked with here?
Hero Plumbing came to us through Local 75, and MRW Contracting.
And are you happy with how things are working out so far with it?
Very much so. You can already see the outcome. Look at Hero Plumbing. Hero Plumbing left the Housing Authority project and is now performing commercial work in the private sector with the help of Alpine Plumbing.
Well, you know, that's a great example, and later in today's show we'll get a chance to catch up with Rashawn from Hero Plumbing to see what his role is with his company in this project. But it seems to go much deeper than, again, just the individual. To me, you look at the trades as a whole, there's a lot of mentoring that goes on from a journeyman plumber, for instance,
Right.
to an apprentice. Here you're saying, take an Alpine Plumbing, for example, and have them mentor an emerging business, in this case, Hero Plumbing.
Yes, they provided the resources so that Rashawn could completely learn project management on the commercial side of construction. You look at Rashawn's company today, started out with 3 employees, he's increased his work by 11%.
Wow, and that's moving forward. So that's a great example of how it wasn't just this project, this was a stepping stone to bigger and greater things.
And these guys took advantage of that.
So when I asked you at the beginning, are you proud of how it's turning out? Sure, from a visual aspect, you're very proud, but
Yes.
it seems to me you're even more proud of the emerging businesses moving forward.
And the partnerships that people are now willing to create so that we together can grow jobs in the community.
The Westlawn Redevelopment Project was a great opportunity for us to partner up a contractor with experience and capacity and work with an emerging business enterprise in Hero Plumbing and be able to share the experience and the training and the skill of the plumbers and help create the capacity for Hero Plumbing so they can perform a project of this magnitude. And the plumbers that work for Hero Plumbing are just like all the rest of the plumbers that belong to the local. It's part of our job as a union to provide the highest quality training for all of our members so they can be the most productive and effective workers for our contractors and eventually provide the best service and highest quality and value for our customers.
Building Wisconsin is made possible by the members of Plumbers 75, proudly serving their contractors and helping build Wisconsin for over 100 years.
We all know the most basic form of life requires clean water to survive. On Earth, we need it to drink, cook, clean, and it touches just about every part of our quality of life. Here in Wisconsin, we appreciate the value of clean water even more as we live alongside the Great Lakes. Yet we often forget to think about how water gets to our homes, schools, and businesses, and then safely back to Mother Nature. Where does all the dirty water go? How is it fresh and clean every time we get a glass of water? Who makes this happen? The answer, plumbers. It's the plumbers who are trained, mentored on the job, and have progressed through a 5-year education program that takes them from apprenticeship to a master of their trade. It's plumbers who are committed to a career and have been trained to protect the health and safety of our water system and make sure you never have to think about where it comes from and where it's going. Yes, we're fortunate here in Wisconsin to have an abundant supply of clean, fresh water. But even more fortunate to have a highly trained and committed workforce to keep and deliver it that way.
Plumbers 75, supporting the plumbing trade in southeast Wisconsin for over 100 years. Showcasing the benefits of hiring a professional through exceptional workmanship is just part of the mission statement at Hero Plumbing. And when your next project calls for a plumber, consider a company that focuses on quality. Hero Plumbing specializes in both repair and new construction and provides plumbers for households, businesses, and municipalities. Their portfolio includes work on projects such as Westlawn, the new Police Administration Building in Milwaukee, and Highland Commons in West Allis. For high-quality service and affordable rates, Hero Plumbing and Plumbers 75. Proud to be building Wisconsin. For more information on Building Wisconsin, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and be sure to watch additional episodes on YouTube or at our website, buildingwisconsintv.com.
Welcome back to our project here on Building Wisconsin. I'm Stuart Keith, and we're out at the Westlawn Revitalization project in Milwaukee. Now let's catch up with Hero Plumbing to learn more about some of the various plumbing aspects that go into a project of this magnitude. Well, Rashawn, neighborhood's coming along beautifully. I mean, I love the different styles here. It really makes it unique. It's not a vinyl village. It really has its own character.
Yeah, it's coming along great, Stu.
Well, you know, throughout today's show, we've learned about the Westlawn Revitalization project. And what we want to focus on now is the plumbing and the different challenges that go into the plumbing on a project of this magnitude.
For Hero Plumbing, we started on the first two 47-unit buildings on Silver Spring. We did the plumbing from the foundation wall inward, so Hero Plumbing was responsible for all of the interior plumbing for the project. The townhouse units were 156 units like these. We started in October, and we're finishing the last units now. So we did 156 units in 10 months.
Wow, it sounds like with 156 units, there must be an awful lot of coordination amongst all the trades, because we all know it takes more than just plumbers to build a development like this.
Yes, absolutely. That's what it was, all coordination from the beginning. Especially with these smaller units, it took a lot more coordination. We had to work through all of the weather conditions in order to get this project done on time.
Well, there's no rest for the weary, but if you have time, we'd love to see a little tour of the different townhouses and take us from rough plumbing to the finished product.
Okay, here's a rough right here.
Now outside, you mentioned that it's your role from where the lateral enters the structure. So everything inside?
Yes, we did everything inside from the foundation of the building on inward.
Okay, so with rough construction, what's involved in the plumbing?
Well, in the rough stage, we have drain and vent inside of the wall. This is when we have the opportunity to get all of our drain and water distribution and vent piping inside of the wall. So this is the vent piping, the drain, and the water distribution.
And obviously this looks like a kitchen sink area, so you walk in, you have a living room, dining room combination, and then a nice kitchen area here. So you're working on supply side and waste side, and I can see upstairs, I see there must be some bathrooms up there because there's some drain lines coming down as well. Just quickly, how important is venting in plumbing?
Venting is very important because it adds air to the drain so it can flow better, and it also protects the trap seal to help keep the sewer gases out.
Well, that's a great case in point of the importance of being properly trained as a plumber. We talk about, you know, you're dealing with waste lines, you're dealing with supply side, so a lot of public safety there, not just the occupants here, but the community as a whole. You've done 156 units here in 6 months. You must have had a heck of a workforce working with you.
Yes, thanks to Local 75, I was able to man this job when it was time for it to get started. So anything I needed as far as a workforce, I was able to go to Local 75, being a signatory contractor.
Got to be great peace of mind for you knowing that they're highly trained. You don't have to worry about training them when they get out on site. You just tell them what you need done and they get it done correctly?
Yes, I'm very comfortable with the training that will come from Local 75 because that's where I was trained at. So I have an understanding when I look at the building trades, no matter what trade it is, if they haven't went through an apprenticeship, then odds are you can't necessarily trust the work that's going in. So if a plumber calls me up and wants a job and they haven't did an apprenticeship, I understand that some training needs to take place, and that's
Sure.
what Local 75 gives.
Well, whether it's on a single family home, apartment, or a big neighborhood like this, I mean, it's pretty apparent to me the value they bring to the equation. Did you run into some challenges here or some new products that you hadn't worked with?
The biggest challenge here was keeping up with the schedule, but the new product that we worked with was the big backwater valve. The way the backwater valve works, it works to protect the inside of the building from the sewer. In case we get a heavy rain, the sewer might back up.
Oh, wasn't this area underwater, really flooded badly about, was it 3, 4, 5 years ago?
Yeah, about 2 years ago, we had a big flood, so the backwater valve will keep the inside of the building protected. And the way it works, when the water comes in, it'll fill up the inside of the valve and make it close. And then once the water goes down and everything drains, that valve will open back up automatically. And it also has an alarm on it that notifies the tenant so they know that something is wrong with the sewer and to not use it until the rain goes away.
Sure, and how long would that be? It could be an hour or two down the road, but the key point is it notifies the occupants. They have the peace of mind knowing that their basement isn't going to be flooded, and all they have to do is not use the sewer for a couple hours or until that alarm goes off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, this is a great example of some of the rough plumbing that goes into it, some of the challenges you encountered. What about the finish side?
Okay, we have a unit over here that's finished just right over here across the street.
Building Wisconsin is made possible by the members of Plumbers 75, proudly serving their contractors and helping build Wisconsin for over 100 years.
We all know the most basic form of life requires clean water to survive. On Earth, we need it to drink, cook, clean, and it touches just about every part of our quality of life. Here in Wisconsin, we appreciate the value of clean water even more as we live alongside the Great Lakes. Yet we often forget to think about how water gets to our homes, schools, and businesses, and then safely back to Mother Nature. Where does all the dirty water go? How is it fresh and clean every time we get a glass of water? Who makes this happen? The answer, plumbers. It's the plumbers who are trained, mentored on the job, and have progressed through a 5-year education program that takes them from apprenticeship to a master of their trade. It's plumbers who are committed to a career and have been trained to protect the health and safety of our water system and make sure you never have to think about where it comes from and where it's going. Yes, we're fortunate here in Wisconsin to have an abundant supply of clean, fresh water, but even more fortunate to have a highly trained and committed workforce to keep and deliver it that way.
Plumbers 75, supporting the plumbing trade in southeast Wisconsin for over 100 years. Showcasing the benefits of hiring a professional through exceptional workmanship is just part of the mission statement at Hero Plumbing. And when your next project calls for a plumber, consider a company that focuses on quality. Hero Plumbing specializes in both repair and new construction and provides plumbers for households, businesses, and municipalities. Their portfolio includes work on projects such as Westlawn, the new police administration building in Milwaukee, and Highland Commons in West Allis. For high-quality service and affordable rates, Hero Plumbing and Plumbers 75. Proud to be building Wisconsin. For more information on Building Wisconsin, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and be sure to watch additional episodes on YouTube or at our website, buildingwisconsintv.com.
Welcome back to Building Wisconsin. So far in today's program, we've been touring the new Westlawn Revitalization project in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Now let's once again catch up with Rashawn Spivey from Hero Plumbing.
Oh, look, Stu, it looks like we're right on time to see Abe put a test on this sink. What he's doing, we fill up both sides of the sink. That's the most water the sink will ever see, and then we let it drain. That proves that the seals on the sink are holding and the drain as well.
And so that's really a quality control. You could call it an internal quality control for
Yes.
Hero Plumbing, make sure everything's right. And not only on the sink, I assume you do it to all the plumbing fixtures?
Yes, we do that to any plumbing fixture. We test it and make sure it's gonna run with no leaks.
And obviously you're dealing with public safety here, so each of these units has to be inspected by a city inspector.
Yes, each unit had 3 inspections. The first was the underground, the second was the rough inspection, and then after Abe is done here, they'll come back and do a finish inspection.
Sure, and that's important. I mean, some people look at the inspector negatively, but I think it's a great thing to do because you're talking public safety, you're talking peace of mind that everything is working properly and is gonna last its maximum life for the occupants. I mean, It doesn't get any better than that.
That's the best thing to do, to have every job inspected, so then you have a clear record that each job was installed correctly.
Makes sense to me. I got one quick question for you. I've seen this on several sinks. What is that?
Oh, what that is an air gap, a dishwasher air gap. And the way it works, it's an engineered fitting that looks like this on the inside. And what it does, it protects the dishwasher drain from the sewer. You don't want them to both be connected, and then the sewer would back up into the dishwasher.
Okay, so it's a break or a gap that's there. Is that similar to what you see on a washing machine where that sticks down in the pipe?
It's similar to that, but we call the washing machine an air break. That's when the pipe is down in the other pipe.
I have to chuckle when you explain what that is because I've seen and actually heard a lot of people go, hey, my soap dispenser doesn't work. That's what they think a soap dispenser. So again, it's another plumbing product that the highly skilled plumbers have to know how it operates, how to install it, so it works properly for the occupants. How long do you have to go until these units are completed?
We have 3 weeks to go here until this is all done, and then we're on to the next job.
You got a lot of work lined up for the future?
We have a police administration building job. Abe is going to run that job next.
Well, that's good. Future looks bright. You know, it's been great. I wish we had more time to see the plumbing that goes into a project of this magnitude, but I appreciate you coming on and giving us some insights.
Thanks, Stu. It's been my pleasure.
The preceding program was sponsored by the Building Wisconsin Television Network.